I don't see why decisions about £200 billion of taxpayer money on something as fundamental to our security as the NHS. So today I can announce we're going to cut bureaucracy across the state, focus government on the priorities of working people, shift money to the front line by an arm's length body, NHS England. And I can't, in all honesty, explain to the British people why they should spend their money on 2 layers of bureaucracy.
A political leader facing the worst approval ratings in modern history has 2 options: step down gracefully or fight to the bitter end. Those words from a renowned political strategist seem prophetic, as Keir Starmer's shocking announcement just minutes ago has thrown British politics into chaos. With his approval at a devastating -61 and internal Labour emails describing a toxic culture under his leadership, Starmer's unexpected election call has been met with both fierce criticism and reluctant admiration. As protests erupt across major cities and potential successors like Angela Rayner and Andy Burnham remain conspicuously silent, one question remains: is this announcement Starmer's masterstroke or his political epitaph? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Just when political analysts thought Keir Starmer couldn't possibly raise more eyebrows, he's thrown a hand grenade into the political landscape that nobody saw coming. In a televised address that has sent shockwaves through Westminster, Starmer announced the complete abolition of NHS England.
So I'm bringing management of the NHS back into democratic control by abolishing the arm's length body NHS England. If we push forward with digital reform of government, and we are going to do that, we can make massive savings, £45 billion of savings in efficiencies. That will put the NHS back at the heart of government where it belongs, freeing it to focus on patients, less bureaucracy, with more money for nurses.
A move that has transformed Thursday from an ordinary political day into what some are calling a watershed moment in British governance. The timing couldn't be more precarious for the Prime Minister. With his approval ratings under pressure and challenges mounting from both opposition parties and within his own ranks, Starmer has opted for what appears to be a high-stakes gambit. Why would a leader already navigating treacherous political waters choose this precise moment to dismantle an institution employing 13,000 people? It's a question reverberating through the corridors of power. During his address, Starmer framed the decision as putting the NHS back at the heart of government where it belongs. His careful choice of words about focusing on patients with less bureaucracy, with more money for nurses, suggests an attempt to position this as a patient-centered reform rather than a political power play.
And AI is a golden opportunity. You will already be thinking about how you use it in your work. And that's an opportunity we're determined to seize. An NHS refocused on cutting waiting times at your hospital, with a clear mission from me to make the state more innovative and more efficient. So we're going to get the best of the best on AI working across government. I'm going to send teams into every government department.
But seasoned observers aren't so easily convinced. Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, hasn't minced words about the previous administration's approach, describing the move as driving the final nail in the coffin of the Conservatives' disastrous top-down organisation. His comments about eliminating bloated and inefficient bureaucracy reflect the government's official messaging strategy. Position this as cleaning up a Conservative mess rather than creating a Labour one. What makes this announcement particularly interesting is what happened just days before: the sudden resignation of 3 key NHS England board members, Chief Financial Officer Julian Kelly, Chief Operating Officer Emily Lawson, and Chief Delivery Officer Steve Russell. Now appears less coincidental and more like the first raindrops before a deluge. These high-profile departures suggest the inner circle was well aware of the impending earthquake before the ground began to shake. Perhaps most telling is the reaction within Starmer's own party. Labour MPs are reportedly split on whether this represents political courage or recklessness. Some view it as a demonstration of decisive leadership, exactly what Starmer's critics have accused him of lacking. Others, however, are privately expressing concern that such a massive restructuring during a period of political vulnerability could be a catastrophic miscalculation that might accelerate calls for his resignation rather than silence them. The Conservative opposition has wasted no time mounting their counterattack. Shadow Health Minister Dr. Caroline Johnson has publicly questioned how the government intends to meet health service targets while dismantling its management structure. More pointedly, she's demanding specifics on what will replace NHS England, details that appear conspicuously absent from Starmer's announcement. At its core, this move represents a fundamental reversal of the 2012 NHS reorganisation that created a fragmented web of bureaucracy, according to Labour's analysis. By bringing NHS management back into democratic control, Starmer is effectively pulling the levers of healthcare delivery directly back into Downing Street, a concentration of power that has sparked intense debate about his underlying motivations. The abolition of NHS England isn't merely administrative reshuffling, it's the dismantling of an arm's-length body specifically designed to keep political fingers away from day-to-day healthcare decisions. Created in 2013, NHS England was tasked with delivering high-quality care while ensuring value for taxpayer money. Whether its functions can be effectively absorbed by direct government oversight remains an open and hotly contested question. As protests begin forming in city centres and heated parliamentary sessions erupt into uncharacteristic displays of emotion, what started as a policy announcement has morphed into something far more significant. This may well become the defining moment of Starmer's political career, either the bold stroke that cemented his reputation as a reformer or the miscalculation that cost him his leadership. The next 48 hours will likely determine Starmer's political fate. Internal emails have now exposed deep fractures within Labour, with some MPs openly questioning his judgment and leadership capabilities. The revelation that party insiders fear a potential catastrophic defeat if a snap election were called speaks volumes about the crisis of confidence Starmer faces. Behind closed doors, the political machinery is already in motion. Angela Rayner, Yvette Cooper, and Andy Burnham's names are circulating as potential replacements, while reports suggest a senior Labour MP is actively gathering support for an immediate leadership challenge. This NHS gambit represents Starmer's desperate attempt to reset his premiership, but the question remains whether it's too little, too late. The political landscape hasn't just shifted, it's experiencing an earthquake of uncertainty. As Britain watches this high-stakes political drama unfold, Starmer's shocking NHS announcement may be remembered not as his salvation, but as the catalyst that triggered the collapse of his leadership.